Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Welcome guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. And of course we are here. It is the 30th of June, but for those who are following and know what is going on, from the 1st of July starts the most bumper month for the F1 season, because we have double and triple headers. It's pace. And of course, here to help me run through all the information and details is my good co-host Mike. Mikey, how things, bro? Mikey, you there with us? All right, so I guess Mike's still sorting himself out. So guys, as I said, so it's a bumper weekend. So of course, this weekend is the British Grand Prix. So I guess we could do, and of course, right after that is the Austrian Grand Prix, Vienna.
Hey, bro. Good evening.
Now get in, Mikey there. Hey, Mikey, how you going, bro?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi playing up a little bit there.
All right, no problem. You doing a Latifi?
Yeah.
And speaking of Latifi, happy belated birthday, Latifi. We talk about you so much on this channel. You know, we at least said big year for your birthday, so I hope you had a good one yesterday. So on that note too, Michael, Lanesh and I have made a bit of a deal coming into this weekend. We are both going to turbo drive Latifi on our team too. So look out for that action, and we will let you know how that goes, of course, on Sunday. And of course, guys, don't forget, speaking of Sunday, this Sunday we'll be live at the Island Bay Chill and Grill for the British Grand Prix. So for those who are free and want to come through, the race is, of course, at 10 a.m. So let's get straight into the action. Michael, I want to show off a little bit, Michael. I might even need it, Michael. First about today.
Flex. Let me see your knowledge. Flex.
First about so I don't even want this site. I just want the map. Let me just get the map. I'm gonna share scratch on the map. That's all I want. I want nothing else but the map. Right. I don't even want the other information. All I want was the map just to show me what's up with. Forget that. So the British Grand Prix, of course, is was the home of the first ever World Championship event back in 1950. Right. It is 5.891 kilometers, 18 corners, 8 to the left, 10 to the right. There are 2 DRS zones overtaken. All right, there's 52 racing laps. Of course, the last fastest lap on this was back in 2022 with a 1270.97 from Max, and last year's fastest lap was a 1286.17 by Perez. And of course, Michael's favorite racer won this race back in 2021 was Hamilton.
Yeah, let's go.
Now this track has a history of having a safety car, and the history is so deep that it's quite back to 2013. Every British Grand Prix have had at least one safety car. Normally, the tire strategy for this will be a hard C1, medium C2, and a soft C3, because there's tend to be a very high dead track, where we see a lot of tires bursting, not just because of the track, because of other incidents as well. And normally the strategy will be a 2-stopper. Now, normally, technically, it'll be a 1-stopper because of the safety car. So we'll see how the track allows for, and of course, it is in the UK, Michael. So you know what tends to happen in the UK? It rains. So that could throw another spanner in the works there. But so far, the forecasts have looked favorable for some sunny weather on Sunday. But of course, again, it's the UK. If anyone who's traveled to the UK, you all know it rains a lot in the UK, right? And of course, now, Michael, I'll hand it over to you for anything that I might have left out.
No, I think you're spot on, bro. So yeah, it's definitely a track that has a lot of wear, so that's something to be mindful of, especially the front left. That always tends to be the tire that goes first. So that's definitely something to pay attention to when you're picking your teams. So you definitely want drivers that know how to manage their tires because it's very intense. It's 18 corners. A lot of them are very fast. Something to pay attention to. Um, the braking zones that it has, though few, like maybe two or three, they're very, very intense. When it is, they do brake, which is not plenty, it's intense. So most of the times the brakes will be most of the lap, the brakes will be cool, but for those braking points, temperatures will go right up. So for a team like McLaren who's had brake trouble, I would be concerned about their brakes and if they could stand up. Because although yes, it's not that much braking points, it's very hard and intense braking. So after you come out of that corner, you definitely need a cooling package on your brakes to ensure that your brakes could handle it and cool back off for the rest of the lap.
Yep.
Quick cars will shine here, so I definitely expect to see the Red Bulls and the Ferraris up at the front. Mercedes is supposed to be bringing a package, so maybe and hopefully their package does something that puts us a little closer up to those front runners. But it should definitely be an interesting race. Silverstone is always very enjoyable. Max will definitely be wanting some redemption this year. So long as he does not do anything to my boy, we'll have no issues. Let him just drive
Exactly.
the race, drive your car, because he also has to remember he's in Britain, the home of the 7-time world champion. So you do anything and he will piss off the British people.
I don't want
It's
that.
all that. But it's
Trust
definitely
me,
a great
you
track.
don't want this stuff rich at you at all, at all, at all.
So, but it's a really great track. It's always pretty enjoyable. There are boring points. But as you
Right.
said, there's always a safety car. I expect to see one at least this year. Um, More than likely more for reliability's sake as opposed to a crash, but you never know. With these new tires and these new cars, I feel like we'll do three. People will still do the two stopper, but I feel like a three stop will be a even faster strategy
Oh, okay.
because so far these tires have had a lot higher deck than last year's tires. These
Right.
cars are heavier, so deck should be even more
Yes.
intense than it was
Yes.
last year. So yes, two stop is usually the way to go. But I think this year the faster strategy will be three stop. Although yes, you're stopping another time, that's an extra 20 something seconds. I think it's faster because you'll make it back up on track, especially if it is you do a nice strategy. So I would say something like medium, hard, soft, or soft would be a nice combo to go, or something like a hard and push it really long, and then do two sets of soft. So you're
Okay.
just flying. So I think those are good ways to go. So I really think a three stopper might be the best way to go this weekend around.
So a two-stop and a safety car, possibly.
Repeat that.
A two-stop and a safety car, possibly. Then that could be
A two
what
stop
we
and a
see.
safety car. Yeah, well, that's it. So the
Yeah.
safety car
Yeah.
could play into
Yeah.
the hands whereby they
Yeah.
slow down
Yeah.
the tires doesn't degrade as fast. But as even though you mean although you're with the safety car and you're going slower, there's still gonna be some dag one. And then two, you're running out of fuel. So lighter
Mm,
cars demand a car with more grip so that you
yeah.
could really trade in and not worry about the car just going off the track. So I really still think even if you get a safety car, the three stop is the way to go. The
Fair enough.
safety will just be the ideal time to pit. So yeah.
Right. Before I ask the question, I have a question for you. Big up Lanesh all the time. I was just talking about it, Lanesh, and our big wager this weekend. So we turbo driving Lanesh, turbo driving Latifi, sorry, and our team too. Right. So big up Lanesh all the time, our fan all the way from Mauritius. And he's seeing some good streets on the track. Let's get good for Ferrari and Red Bull. Now, this falls into my question for you, Michael. Now, two questions actually. But I'll jump first one. He's saying good streets. But on my research, right, I've seen that Silverstone is not the best track for overtaking. Is that so? Is that correct? And because yes, you're seeing streets. Because when I see streets as well, I tell myself, all right, overtaking time could happen, but it looks more like defensive. This looks like more of a defensive track. Like once you get the quality, whatever you get qualifying, it should be straightforward. Barring any incidents for you to defend. Is that correct, Michael?
It is to some extent, yeah. It's you don't have the most amount of overtakes, but you can still pull off overtakes into corners and things. And like there's been some really intense battles between Lewis and Seb in some past years, Lewis and Max last year. So you could actually have guys going around the outsider guys in corners because the corners are so fast. Some people are brave enough to throw it up the inside or take it around the outside, unless they get the right line. So it's quite possible to see overtakes even in corners as opposed to just dive bombing it into a hairpin.
Right.
So yeah, I honestly think it should be a very entertaining race, especially with these cars that are easier to follow it. Especially those fast corners, it should be pretty sweet to see these cars going right next to each other around these corners. Because if last year's cars that had a lot of dirty air coming off of them that made it hard for cars to follow, and they were still side by side through some quick corners, definitely these cars should prove a lot nicer around these corners.
Sure. Now, my next question. So we spoke about the safety cars, right? And of course, since 2013, every British Grand Prix has had a safety car. Now, when in my this is what the 10th round. So in my 9 rounds of experience so far, fully watching the championship, when the safety car is deployed, Michael, we see the cars. Of course, they do their zigzag to keep warm. No, doing that, as you rightfully said, when the safety car comes out, there's a few things to play, especially because of the track. So there's high deck already, gas to run out and whatnot. But that zigzagging behind this car, especially let's go really extreme, Michael. Let's say that the incident was terrible, right? No, of course, not to death, but of course, it's really bad for them taking a while, create and all that back and had to come out, right? So zigzagging, high deck, track, gas, and all that. Is it this weekend would a lot of drivers be keen to or wish that there's no safety car at all and just go for the 2-stop or maybe the 3-stop as you said, or all that in it? You can't be worried about that. I only mention it because I know this track is particularly high deck. I mean, I'm watching the tires that they're suggesting. That is very extreme. So it has to be that the tires are going to get a lot of licks, and that zigzagging will cause a lot of issues, right, Michael?
So the zigzagging can, but it's about the way that you do it. Experienced drivers will know exactly how to do it. So you try to do your zigzags as smooth, but as quick as possible to build up the heat in the tires to keep that grip. You might do it too harsh. So I think there was an example, I think in Baku, when it is, I think Magnussen or it was either Magnussen or Grosjean. I can't remember which one of the Hasses. They put it in the wall under the safety car. And that was essentially because I think he just took the zigzag a little too harsh and he put himself in the wall. So he didn't know how to do it. So I'll be honest, I do it sometimes on the highway. Like if it is, I'm preparing. So like I work south side, so I'm coming up the road. The traffic isn't too bad and it's mostly clear road. So I might zigzag a little bit to build up some heat in the tires to get an extra grip when I'm gonna do a pull. And it's not about you can't turn the steering wheel too aggressively and be gentle and really just side to side. So it could be done in a way that it doesn't really damage the tires. It's also important to know your track surface because some tracks are smoother than others. So if the surface is really rough, you really don't want to be doing your tire heat up on that part of the surface that's really rough because you're just going to eat away your tires. As we said earlier, the front left is really the tire to pay attention to. I think it was 2019 or 2020. One of those years, both Lewis and Valtteri had tire blowouts on like the last lap. Well, Lewis's own blew up on the last lap and finished Lewis on 3 tires. on the front left blue. So it's really important to pay attention to your tires and that kind of thing to know what they could take, what they can't take. What is going to be nice is that a lot of these drivers, they're still learning these tires to some extent to fully understand how they work, how they heat up, that kind of thing. So everybody's on a kind of level playing field. So that should be quite interesting. So I think I don't really be worried too much about zigzagging and keeping the heat to heat tires because the heat is extremely important.
Of course. No, I saw in some news, out of the exact details, maybe you could help me out a little bit. I saw a lot of teams made some updates, right? Some major, some minor, some key, some that
Yeah,
remain
so
same. It's a
a
lot
big
of updates. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people are bringing updates because a lot of these teams are based in the UK.
Ah,
Aston Martin is based in the UK, McLaren is based in the UK, um, Red Bull is based in the UK, as Mercedes is based in the UK. Who else based in the UK, boy? Um, so yeah, a good few of the teams are based in the UK. So if it is, we look at it from a logistics perspective of okay, I had to bring in all these parts. Um,
yeah, I feel you.
the place closest to the factory is the place to do it, you know.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
it. I feel it.
so a lot of the teams will have a lot more ground support this time around, I think, because they just have the factory right there. So if they need to get parts and that kind of thing, so this is why a lot of the teams will be bringing updates this weekend because they have that support. If something goes wrong, we need to change our floor or the design floor doesn't work as we wanted to. We have the old floor back at the factory. Let's just go and get it, and they change it back overnight. You know. So it's a lot easier to bring a lot more things to the track as opposed to if it is done on in Australia and you had to ship all these things. So yeah.
I saw that Williams made an update to Albon's car. Yeah.
And Williams
Um,
is again English based.
right? So I'm watching that and checking to see if that may be key, if and that might influence me to maybe watching for one of the teams. I think McLaren did a few things because as I mentioned, they had some issues with braking, and especially now with this track where there's less braking, and when they need it, it'll be on fast turns, and if it gives out, so hopefully they are now get their updates right. So again, we'll see. So there should be a lot of key changes in how some of the drivers approach this race and the machinery that they're using. We should see some improvement on their finishing. So hopefully we can see some guy like the mid-tier guys and even of course Mercedes finish a little higher than usual. So let's get into that fun aspect that we like to do really quickly, Michael, and then we'll get into the fantasy really quickly. All right. I must say though, I'm very interested. I'm excited for this particular race because, of course, it's my first time watching it in full, watching it with you guys, and taking in all the action. And it seems like there's a lot of action to come. So, of course, Michael, it's just you and I. Lanesh, if you want to weigh in on this in the comments, let us know your 1, 2, 3 now. Lanesh, if you want to jump in, or do it in the comments now. You want to let us know, right? Antonio, right? If you want to let us know who your 1, 2, 3 is one time, no problem in the comments there. But right? But we're talking about serious things here, Michael. I don't know why this fella. Anyway, so Michael, who's your 1, 2, 3?
My 1, 2, 3 this weekend would be in yeah, it's really hard to say. It hurts my heart to say it, but I honestly think Max might pull something out of the bag this weekend and pull off a win. Um, so I would say 1, 2, 3. Max, Leclerc, if he could finish, and
Mm.
one of the Mercedes. Let's say Lewis.
Okay. 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 All right. I'm going way. Okay. Look, Lanesh. Let's go with Lanesh there quickly. So I want to see what Lanesh. So Lanesh said first Max. So first Max. Then he says second Leclerc, and then he says third Russell. All right. All right.
You see, we know that the Mercedes is going to podium this weekend.
Yeah.
They're going
I'm
to
for it.
podium at home. They always
I'm
podium
for
at
it. Antonio says Max first, Sainz second, then Perez. Okay. Okay. I have Lewis first,
boy.
Max second, and Russell third. I don't talk yet.
I don't talk. I like that. I like that. I
I
like
don't
that.
talk. Reason being, you know, I was at get a little reasoning. I'm
Of
watching
course.
watching the history, I'm watching the track. Now, of course, history means nothing. Of course, the car that Lucy driving now is not the same for the past year. I know this. But the word strategy seems very key for this particular race. Yes, all the races require strategy. I'm not saying no, but this one, it seems like the drivers can't just go out there and do their thing. They have to be on top of the game. The teams have to be on top of the game. The pitting have to be the best pitting of their life, everything. And I can't see fixing that flaw that they have, right? That terrible strategy flaw overnight. I really can't. Max, I don't know why. I just not feeling him. And you know when I say that sometimes, you know, right? But of course I feel in the Perez. Right? Perez could even top come first. It could even be Perez, Lewis, Russell. But I still with Russell, Perez. Sorry, I'm Lewis, Perez, Russell. I second with that. I just see those three. I can see those three really going for taking the time, managing the car well, managing the tires well. I can see Russell defending well as well. I mean, he's very good at defending. Perez is great at defending. Perez very quick. So I could just see that it'll be strategy. That will be where Lewis and experience, where I think Lewis could just tip him a little bit. I know Perez has the fastest car, but I can just see strategy and I think the qualifying is key. And I think Russell could be up there either Q1 or Q2 for the race. Seeing that.
I definitely and totally agree with you, bro.
All right, so please forgive me. That's my humble prediction.
It's a good prediction. A good prediction. I actually have to jump off there now, bro.
All right, no problem. Well, I was just ready to the fantasy aspects and everything. No problem.
Yeah, for sure. You know you can handle that.
Yeah, man.
Right now, I'm just trying to catch Antonio Saka with my jersey. So I was 100 points, a little less than 100 points away from him, so I'll catch him. It's a plenty to go. It's a long season.
Yeah, I really don't want to buy that Bottas jersey. We really do. And any quick points before you go again? Anything again for the news? Anything at all before you jump off?
I think all I need to say is come out on Sunday, Island Bear Chill and Grill. We're doing a live watch along. It's gonna be plenty vibe. You need to be there. You need to come and enjoy the one of the best, oldest races that F1 has to offer. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be enjoyable. And it's gonna be pretty epic. So you need to come out and enjoy it, line with us, learn us, and just enjoy F1 with a group of people that love F1. You'll learn something. So yeah.
Especially me learning it too as well. Yeah. So big up Michael all the time. Thanks for coming through and have a good one. I'll see you Sunday. Please go ahead, man. All right, take care, man.
Yes, bro. Sunday morning, bright and early.
Bright and early. You know, it's weird. I can get early for the 10 a.m. but not for the 2 p.m. It's hilarious though. I like that. I like it. Later, bro. All right, guys. So let's, of course, jump into the things that we know. Of course, we are very familiar. So Aaron, thanks for popping through. So Aaron has Lewis first, Charles second, Russell third, boom bang where Aaron was. The same-ish page. I just don't see Charles finishing where Aaron was. I can't see it. But, you know, we'll see. So, of course, the fantasy aspect. What I can talk about now. So, of course, this was my team last week. So I would have team one would have been Max, K-Mag, Hammy, Perez, Stroll. I went with the Haas constructor. I had Alonso, Vettel, Ocon, Gasly, Perez, Red Bull in team 2. And team 3 was Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Russell, Bottas, and of course Alfa Romeo as my constructor. So those 2 teams did fairly okay. Of course, just Perez, DNF in there. So on my 2 teams. But let me do this live for Lanesh. One time, Lanesh. I don't know to get rid of Dog. Maybe get rid of Vettel, maybe, and put in Latifi, Lanesh. So, because we know, as I said, we are going to turbo drive Latifi in our team too. Right? So, that's the pack that I made with Lanesh. So, let's organize and do this one time. So, management, and let's do this one time. Right? Anybody that want to show any, or let me know any changes that they making to the teams. Antonio, anything at all? What's your game plan? What's your strategy? What's the you're making any huge changes with your turbo driving? I haven't yet to use my Mega Drive as yet, so that's something I have to use. Could Mega Drive Lewis? That's very tempted. All right, so I think I'll get rid of Vettel. But see, I don't know. Yeah, I'll get rid of Vettel. And we'll bring in Latifi. That's the only big change I'll make on my team too. And we'll turbo drive Latifi one time. And right, Lanesh, so our pact is our pact. We turbo drive in Latifi together on our team too. Bam! Let me bring it up. Nope, I want to turbo drive Latifi. And for the 2022 British Grand Prix, Latifi has now been turbo drive on my team too. Let me know if you'll see if I need to make any other major changes on the other teams that I have for coming. So let's look at it now really quickly. So of course, for team 1, I have Max, Mag, Hami, Perez, Stroll. Maybe I could dump Stroll. I'm tempted to bring in Williams as a constructor for this one, as a chief constructor, just to allow me to make some key changes. Only because they made some updates, and I believe in them. I feel like something could happen there. Alfa Romeo I'll stick with. They're doing well. But both of the drivers doing really well there. Bottas, Antonio's boy doing well. Team 2, Alonso. Well, I'll stick with that. I like, well, of course, you can't go wrong with that constructor. You can't go wrong with those drivers. Gasly has been okay. Well, of course, Latifi has been finishing his races, just hasn't finished with points yet. So you never know, right? Maybe we send some good luck for him and he could finish this race with some points. That will be very interesting, right? Yes, Lanesh, we're doing it. Latifi turbo drive. Lanesh, what's your strategies going into this weekend? Let me see who's on top still of our YouTube league. I'm sure it's still Lanesh. Lanesh has been on fuego recently. Let's go my game. Let's see. Lanesh. Let's see. Lanesh. So no, Lanesh has been dethroned by an Arman C from India, but it's still very close, Lanesh. They could catch him if his drivers don't do too hot. Let's see who he had for Canada. So he had Perez, Sainz, Bottas, Norris, Leclerc. All right, interesting. And he had Ferrari. Who did he turbo drive? He turbo drive Leclerc. All right, not bad. You can catch him on Lanesh. You can catch him. I ain't frightened for you. You can catch him there. Right? Again, as I said, I may leave the other teams as is, because again, as I keep telling you guys, patience is key. I realize with this F1, this is not like FPL or other fantasy formats. So I think patience is key. So I'm not gonna rush and make any harsh decisions. I only brought in Stroll because he was looking okay and it's a Canadian GP. Maybe he might be the only one maybe I bring in a Zhao or something, or Sonoda, something like that. Maybe. But I'm comfortable with these guys. Maybe just drop past, bring in Williams just as a wild punt, a differential punt. I might keep it turbo drive Perez because I have him finishing second. I have Perez in all 3 teams. That might be something I might change. I don't really like to have the same driver in all, but I mean, it is tricky given the options that you have. So I may stick with this. I can't see any other major changes. Let me see what Lena is saying. The Latifi turbo drive on Hamilton's home race, epic. And well, we should have turbo drive him on the last one, Lenesh, because I mean he's Canadian as well. But yeah, pick up Latifi all the time. All right, let me make a little change to team 1 as we here and we live. Why not? A major change to team 1. So I'll keep in Hamilton. Hamilton's going to win the race, as we said. So I'll get rid of Stroll, and I want to get rid of my my constructor. So let's get rid of Haas. Let's bring in Williams. So I'm going to leave him with 10. All right, which driver? Better than Stroll, take it for 10. Ooh, take it Bottas. Zhao, yes, Sonoda. Ooh, that's not a bad shout, you know. That's not a bad shout. I could go all in, you know. All right, I'm going all in. I'll go with Albon. Right, save. Right, so I'll go in with that. I'll go with Albon. And I might, I'll leave the turbo drive on Perez. Yeah. I'll send to the turbo drive Albon. So that's my team 1 there. Max, K-Mark, Hami, Perez, Albon, and Williams. So I'll go in double on the Williams there. Team 2, well, as you saw, Alonso, Latifi, Ocon, Gasly, Perez, Red Bull, and of course, Team 3, Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Russell, Bottas, Alfa Romeo. I don't see the need to make any huge changes on this team. As I say, I just maybe want to get rid of all the Perez. That I think is not safe. I should swap out. But I mean, he is on most of the teams. He is the best driver that I have. Well, of course, Perez and Max double there. So I should probably get rid of one of them and free up some funds. And I could probably get some other, if we get better constructor, better driver. So that's something I might do over the night as we get into the weekend. We brought in Alpine, right, in race streak, right. Big up Anesh, right? Hoping for Alonso and Ocon top 10 finish. Yeah, taking that in Anesh. Taking that all the way to the bank. I will love that. Right, so guys, I'll wrap it up there. Let me see, what's the schedule? So of course, don't forget this Sunday. Can I bring it up really quickly for you guys? This Sunday, don't forget. Let me see. Hold on, bear with me. So I'm gonna bring it up. So this Sunday we'll be at the Island Bay Chill and we'll do another live watch along. So we live at location. Anyone that wants to jump on the stream or come through and join us, please feel free. We do not bite. Come true. I am not seeing my graphic for it, so I will just put it up on Twitter. But you'll see it on Twitter, guys. So of course, join us this weekend at Island Bay Chill and Grill. We'll be there doing our usual live watch along for the British Grand Prix. I am sure it's going to be very action packed. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Don't forget next week. So next weekend is the sprint, right? Vienna sprint. And you'll know what sprint means, that we get extra points for the qualifying as well too. So there's sprint, queue, and then the race. So don't forget to keep it. So try and make sure you structure your team in a way that's also ready for next weekend as well. Guys, happy picking. Have a good one. I'm doing a very late cricket show tonight. If you guys are interested in cricket, we're just going to talk about the Bangladesh and West Indies tour. You could jump in, you could follow us, always watch it at a more godly time during the day tomorrow. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get to 300 subs. That's the new goal. Please help us out, share with all your friends. Let's see if we get the whole of Mauritius to click that like button and subscribe button. Right, share with all your friends, guys. Let us know. Build a buzz. We're trying to be the home for fantasy sport. Don't forget that we do it all. We do F1, FPL, AFCON, World Cup coming up as well. So don't forget, keep tuned for that as well. Anything that's a fantasy with there. CPL is coming up as well, guys. So don't forget the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. Once again, happy picking and be safe out there, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one.